Okay. So moving on to the dependencies. Okay. So you'll see here in the dependencies we have a bunch of different categories. The most common one you're going to use is probably depends. These are packages that your package depends on in order to work correctly once it's installed. So if you mark a package as a dependent package or a dependency, that package is going to be installed when your package is installed. This pre-depends, this tells the package manager that the package that is the dependency is going to be installed before your package actually is. There's some other options: recommends, suggests, enhances, conflicts, replaces, breaks. Conflicts and replaces, any packages that you mark as conflicts or replaces, those will be uninstalled when your package is installed. But if you go to the help, you go to reference, there's a thing called let's see, we want to go to control files. It'll open a web page that has a description of control files, and you can look up more information on these different categories. So if you have any questions about those, you can look those up, because I don't have all the details. I can't really explain all the details right now, and I don't know all the details. So let's go ahead and add some dependencies. So we'll look, I got some notes here that show me what we depend on. We'll add this libqt-GUI4. Okay, libqt-GUI4, and this one has a version number. So we're dependent on a version. We need to have version 4.2 or greater of libqt-GUI4. So we're going to put the version in here, and we have some options here. If we need that exact version 4.2, you'd have an equals 4.2, but or less than 4.2, less than or equals 4.2, or greater than 4.2, less than 4.2. But what we need is greater than or equals to, and that's the most common. That's the most common usage, is the greater than or equals to. So once we got that all filled out, we hit this add button. Okay, and we can see that it's in the depends category, and there's the package, and greater than or equal 4.2. Okay, so we've added our first dependency, and okay, our next, we got we've got two more to add. We've got libxtst6. And I don't think that, I think any version of libxtst6 will be compatible with this program. I didn't find any conflicts. I couldn't find a specific version number for this program, so I think any version of libxtst6 will work. So we don't have to put a version number in. It'll just look for any version of that package. So we'll add that, and our last dependency, whoops, I hate that, is this libc6. We don't actually have to add this libc6 because libqt-GUI4 has that listed as a dependency. So obviously when this libqt-GUI4 is installed, the libc6 will be installed, and libc6 is pretty much installed on any Linux. distribution, I believe, by default. But we're going to go ahead and add it anyway because it removes it prevents an error from popping up when the package is built. So we'll add that. Okay, this isn't an actual dependency. It's just an example of something you can do here. I'm going to add Python as a dependency. But there's also a package. Let's say your program can use either Python or Python 3. So we instead of adding both Python and Python 3 as dependencies, what we want to do is highlight this Python dependency here, and we're going to add Python 3 to it with this append option. Okay, and what this does is it tells the package manager that in order to install our package, we either need to install Python or Python 3. So it'll look for one of those two packages to install. Okay, so go ahead and remove that. And if you want to start over with your dependencies, you can hit this clear button. It'll remove everything down here. Okay, if we go back to the first page, I believe if we hit the preview, it should show our dependencies now. Yep, depends right there. So our dependencies are in there. Okay, I don't remember what this button is. Browse. Oh, okay, browse. This is for opening a control file. So if you have a control file that you've already made, so if we save our control file, we'll save it to the desktop. Okay, there it is. So if you're starting a new project but you already have a control file, you can actually open it from here. So let's test that out. Let's make sure that's working. Go ahead. Change all these to see if it, make sure it changes them all. Whoops. So let's go ahead and see if that actually works. Which it should, because I made it, right? And there it goes. Filled it all in. Okay, so we're done with our dependencies. And let's see, I think it should fill under dependencies too. Let's go back and test that. Yep, it worked. Got our dependencies there. Okay, so you can open a control file that has already been created. Okay, here's where we're going to actually add the files to our package. And I happen to have all my files located in this folder called QJoypad. And I want to install these to the USR folder. I believe that stands for user. And I've got some predefined destinations over here if you just want to click one of those. But I've also included a custom so that you can install your files to wherever you want. And so we'll select our folder or the file that we want to add. And we'll hit the add button. Okay, and then it shows us our files and where they're going to be installed. And we can edit those, I believe. Yeah, we can change any of those we want to. or we can add more folders or files over here. Okay, and you'll see this bottom one, this bottom file is in red, and what that tells us is that is an executable. That's an executable file, and that comes in handy in the next, I believe it's the next page. Okay, and I believe that's all we need to do on that page. Okay, our scripts. These are our post and pre-installed remove scripts. And again, if you want to go to the policy manual, the Debian policy manual, you can look up more about these scripts and what they actually do. And these scripts will run during the installation of your program. Actually, the pre-install script will run before your program is installed. The post-install script will run after your package is installed. Pre-remove script will run before your package is uninstalled, and the post-remove will run after your package is uninstalled. I hope I said that right. Pre-remove is before your package is uninstalled. Post-remove is after your package is uninstalled. So whatever kinds of commands you want to run, you can put into these scripts. And I've included a little auto link executables, and I created this because I was doing this with some of my programs. I don't know if other people will want to do it. I actually don't need to do it with this program, but I will demonstrate it. Because what I like to do is, or sometimes what I like to do is, I won't always put my executables in the bin directory or somewhere on the system path, so that you can execute your program from the command line. So what this auto link executables does is it first imports any executables that we loaded into this file section. It will load those in here, and then wherever we want to put a link to our executable, this will put a soft link to our executable. So this QJoypad is actually going to be installed into user bin, so we don't need to put a link. But if it was going to be installed to somewhere else on the system, we could put a link in this user bin. I'm just going to change that to bin for right now, just to demonstrate what it does. And I will hit generate scripts. Okay, it tells us that post-remove, post-install, and pre-remove scripts have been created. So, okay, so here it shows what the script looks like, and this is the post-install script. So once the program has been installed, what it's going to do is it's going to create a soft link to user bin QJoypad, and it's going to put the link in bin, and it's going to name it QJoypad. And on the pre-remove, it's just going to, before your program is uninstalled, or when your program is uninstalled, it's just going to remove that link. Okay, so let's uncheck these, because we're not actually going to make those scripts for this particular program. Okay, so we can move on to the next page.